Stop asking for camera settings. If you're a photographer and you're curious about other photographers' camera settings, here are some of the reasons why this shouldn't matter to you. Hi, it's Mike from Lifestyle Boudoir. Today I'm going to cover why my camera settings are none of your business. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I won't share them, I'm just saying that there are other way more important factors. And matching my camera settings will very rarely produce the same results. Here's why. Unless you're using the same lights at the same power settings, with the same size and type of modifier, same distance and angle to the subject, your camera settings will never be the same as mine. It's the lighting that determines the settings. So instead of asking for f-stops, ISO, and shutter speed, maybe ask the type of light, the type and size of modifier, the distance to the subject, the angle of light to the subject, and the intensity of the ambient light. Let's take this image of Erica, for instance. This is how the photo ended up. This has a cold, hard feel to it. The smeared mascara is intentional. It's sharp and contrasty, and the water spray and droplets are mostly frozen in place. If I were to tell you the camera settings alone, you would not recreate this look. For example, here are the settings. But what does that tell you about creating the look? Not much, to be honest. You can see that the camera is a Fuji X-T3, the lens is the 35mm f1.4, and the settings are f5.6, shutter is 1/250th, and the ISO is 160. It was taken in daylight out at our pool where we have this beautiful outdoor shower, but I wanted a darker, more nighttime feel. This image under these circumstances would just not be possible without the use of a flash. So here's the raw file where we started. Next is the retouched version, and finally the fully edited black and white version. To get the hard light effect, I used a Godox AD200 with no modifier. It's about 5 feet off the ground, on camera left, and about 7 feet from Erica. The camera settings alone just don't tell you the important stuff like this. Instead of thinking that my camera settings alone will help, try studying then recreating the lighting first, then set your camera based on the lighting. This is how I learned. Why do you like a certain image? Examine the image deeply. Look at the lighting, look at the depth of field, and recreate that, but put your own spin on it. Don't just copy. When I started out, I would study fashion magazines and books of movie star portraits from old Hollywood. The images from the 1940s are my favorites, and it taught me a lot about lighting. I had no internet back then and no one to ask. You know, it might take you longer, but you can learn far more by doing than asking. Trial and error is one of the greatest teachers because you will end up learning the why of it all. Let's look at this image now. The color version is straight out of camera, and the black and white is the finished photo. I wanted a window light editorial fashion feel. Now here's the settings. What they do not tell you at all is how it's lit. Let's start by saying I really wanted to use window light for this. However, it was overcast that day. So to recreate that feel of the window lighting on the subject, I instead used a Godox AD200 in a 7-foot white umbrella. The light was placed about 6 feet from Erica, and it is literally just out of frame. The little bit of fill light that there is in the photo is ambient light coming from the real windows. So here is your first assignment. This is a photo I created during a makeup class's final photo shoot. The theme was 1960s fashion. It was inspired by this photo by Andy Warhol of Edie Sedgwick in the 1960s. I dissected the image and the lighting, and I wanted a similar feel without totally duplicating the photo. What I'd like you to do is take a good look at this photo. Stop the video if you need to. Really study it. Then, when you think you have it figured out, leave me a message in the comments with your thoughts, and I'd love to hear your conclusions on how you'd go about getting a similar feel. And while you're at it, go ahead and click the like and subscribe so I can keep making and improving the quality of the videos of this channel. Now, assignment number 2. If you really want to emulate a look from a photo you like, whether it's one of mine or someone else's, it doesn't matter. But if you love the light, try to dissect it. Where is it coming from? Is it hard light or soft light? If it's hard light, then it's likely a small light source. If it's soft, then you know it's a much bigger light source, like a softbox or umbrella. Is there more than one light source? Then, find yourself a model to practice with. Put them into the position you want, then start applying the lighting. Choose your source, hard light or soft, place it where you feel the light is coming from. You should be able to tell from the catch lights in their eyes and how the shadows are falling. If you can tell there's more than one light source, then add them one at a time. Place one light, let's say it's the background light. Take a photo just with that light on, and keep taking them until it looks right. Then repeat that process with every light you feel you need to recreate the look. It's a wonderful experiment, and you'll learn so much more than by asking, what's your camera settings? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and until the next time, take care.